24. Erstrunden-Action, live und präsentiert von der PDC Europe hier aus der St. Jakobshalle in Basel in der Schweiz. Wir kommen zu unserer vierten Partie dieser Freitagabend-Session. Hier kommen unsere nächsten beiden Spieler. Wir begrüßen aus Bradford, England, die aktuelle Nummer 17 der Welt. Er ist der Gewinner von 11 PDC-Titeln, ein Premier League-Finalist und der ehemalige Masters-Champion. Hier kommt Rockstar Joe Cullen. Basel, wir begrüßen eine Legende. Hier kommt der Gewinner von 30 PDC-Titeln. Ein ehemaliger UK Open, Grand Slam of Darts und Premier League Champion. Und der fünffache Champion of the World, Raymond Van Barneveld.
Rising up, back on the street, did my time, took my chances. Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. It's deep, eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor stalks his spread in the night. And is watching us go with the eye of the tiger.
Well, what a match to bring up the halfway points of the evening session, the first ever edition of the Swiss Darts Trophy. We've just seen two giants of the game go head-to-head, James Wade beating Dimitri Vandenberg, and now we've got two more. Joe Cullen, 3 times a European Tour champion, almost made it 4 earlier this year as well, up against the 5-time world champion Raymond Van Barneveld, who always seems to just carry this aura with him wherever he goes, even though we are making our first ever visit to Switzerland for a PDC Tour event. And even here, he gets the big ovation. There's the big steely stare. Two very different facial reactions, I have to say there. I didn't quite know where we were going with that one, but yeah, Raymond Van Barneveld just has this presence about him. Crowd acknowledging Raymond as he goes through the motions.
Raymond to throw first. Game on.
But I have to say, a very difficult match to call. Van Barneveld has done some fantastic stuff on the Pro Tour, some big numbers, some big averages this season, and to an extent on the European Tour as well. Joe Cullen, on his day, can be so difficult to break down.
66.
Barney with the darts, with the throw first. Might well count for something in the final reckoning in this one. Matt Edgar alongside
95.
me. We're Rob Malarkey for our 4th match of the night.
Yeah, on his day, Joe Cullen so capable. He came within a dart, didn't he, of picking up the Premier year, just 46%, and that
140.
has collaborated in him now being outside the world's top 16.
$104.
Yeah, recently replaced by Josh Rock, and of course that can have huge repercussions if it were to be a long-lasting thing as well. So Joe will be
42, Raymond
mindful
28.
of the need to try and reclaim what was once his not so long ago.
No score.
Well, Raymond can't believe it, and I've got to say,
153.
I can't quite believe that either. That seemed to be At least one of them destined to find a way through.
We will get another go.
43.
Cullen not landing a blow here on the Barney darts. And this time, makes no mistake whatsoever. It's going back to that point about Joe Cullen being out the top 16. The issues that causes is you then rely on the one-year rolling system, the Pro Tour Order of Merits, rather than having those guarantees like the World Match Play, the World Grand Prix. It takes you out of the seeding positions, so you then have to play one of the players that are in the top 16.
39.
Yeah, very little sign as well that Josh Rock is going to give it up without a fight as well. I think he could make further inroads.
95.
And of course, not too much outside the top 20. You've got a certain Luke Littler ready to make his move into the top 16. That will be the next obvious
96.
ranking target for Luke.
It looks certain, doesn't it, that Luke Littler's going to be there, regarding the events that he's got coming up at the back end of the year, where he's defending nothing, plus next year where he'll be defending nothing once again. It's certain to be in the top 16.
96.
Yeah, you look at, I mean, you look at the prize money that he's picked up, and you look at that overall order of merit, and the fact is that he's picked up all that money inside 1 year, whereas the others, that's a 2-year count. So he's effectively a top, certainly a top 6 player, if not top 4, on the evidence of what he's done this year. Those 9 titles, albeit some of them non-ranking titles. I think if you equate all that, it certainly is a very different outlook.
93. Joe require 48.
That was another dart, the double 14 for Raymond Van Barneveld. This is it, and Joe Cullen gets it level. We've seen the double 14 brought into play quite a bit today, actually. We normally associate that with Mensah Suljovic, however, maybe becoming a bit more fashionable.
100.
Yeah, which is, well, players, I mean, they have to be versatile to an extent. There are certain ways and means that players prefer.
140.
But it is a good tool to have. Thoughts about Barney? I mean, Barney has, as I mentioned, produced some
140.
big numbers this year on the Pro Tour in terms of the average. I mentioned that losing average against Wessel Nijman not so long ago, 112.71 in a 6-4 defeat. But you look at his overall record in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Pro Tour events on the floor.
105.
He's not won back-to-back matches at any of them. So that's something that will be just chipping away at him.
It was a similar story in the last game, wasn't it? To Richard Vandenberg, James Wade, 2 players with big CVs, but not recent form to match.
Yeah, Barney has won a title this year. He's made a semi-final as well. He won Players' Championship 5. That was in March of this year.
56. Raymond 111.
I think the real encouragement for Barney came at the World Series finals. Yes, he lost on that occasion, but had a real good go at Luke Littler, who's the favourite to win this title. And with darts like that, he's going to be in there swinging.
And Ricardo Pietreczko, the
57.
man who lies in wait for the winner of this one. Now, Pietreczko, 15th seed this weekend, after Michael van Gerwen pulled out.
140.
So he's moved up 1 place in the pecking order, and maybe 1 or 2 question marks about his physical well-being after that injury withdrawal
57.
or retirement last weekend against Ross Smith.
The players would have all be aware of that as well, and when they saw Ricardo Pietreczko was going to be in the lineup, I can guarantee you
100.
everyone in this field in this round would have been wanting Pietreczko due to those question marks.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, as you say,
100.
purely on that basis. I mean, on the European Tour now, you've got to respect him, what he's done. You know, went very close to winning another European Tour title recently in Antwerp, losing that final
57.
against Dave Chisnell. And picked up the title, of course, at the end of 2023, winning in Hildesheim.
58.
Did play in the Pro Tour this past week, though, after withdrawing last weekend. On both of those occasions without success, and one of his games averaged just 68, so further evidence to suggest that he could be a decent draw in round 2.
Yeah, I've got to say I was slightly surprised that he turned up, but then again, when you look at his position in maybe the Players' Championship Order of Merit, he may have felt as though he had something to offer in terms of his ranking in that particular bracket as well.
32. Joe, you require 49.
Well, 3 legs on throw so far. Every sign we might have 4. Joe Cullen looking at double 16 to get back on track at 2 apiece. Double 8 instead, and that will do.
Joe Cullen. With flag Raymond to throw first.
Barney's first 180 of the match.
123.
Well, already this looks like another holder throw, doesn't it? Very hard to see Joe Cullen finding a way through from here, with
140.
Barney picking up a 180 and a 140 on throw. There is Anton Östlund. Big win against DVD earlier on tonight.
If Cullen is to find a way through here, it's going to have to be through mistakes of Barneveld rather than through something 85. Cullen can do, and that one was touching the face of the board, which means he gets the 5 points on.
I don't know, 158 or 153, what would you rather have?
I don't think there's too much benefit in either, to be honest.
153.
Well, let's see if he takes it out. Would be, well, he's not going to take it out, but it would have been a talking point had he done so.
43. Raymond, you require 40.
13 dancer incoming.
A short of 5th flag, Raymond Van. 6th flag, Joe, who threw first.
13 darter, best leg of the match so far, and it was a good contest as well, that one.
43.
Started off with a 180, but starting off with a mere 41 on this occasion. In response to that 43.
100.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Barney's best stuff came in the first half of this calendar year. Mentioned that title on the Pro Tour.
140.
That in turn came on the back of a couple of quarter-finals. He has had one semi-final in the summertime as well, in June.
99.
So again, first half of the year.
You know when Barney time is, that's in December when Alexandra Palace comes round, and he says all the time, doesn't he, when it gets to that, this is the World Championship, you need to be ready for it. So I fully expect that Barneveld's going to be tuning up the darts once again this time of year. This is the perfect time to do it. We get into all those big events.
Yes, 60. I mean, there were some who, when he came back, when he hit back and he announced himself back on the Pro Tour, having ended his retirement, and he doubted that he would make the top 32 again, but that's where he is right now. 28 in the Order of Merit, 12th on the Players' Championship Order of Merit this year. That's a lovely side-on angle. One more of those. Straight into the 5s.
84.
Did think the first start lent itself to a second there. Tops for Cullen. Double 10 for Cullen.
40.
Problems for Cullen.
You require 76.
Yeah, he's already booked a ticket, Barneveld, for 4 of the big events at the back end of the year. Could be taking a step towards booking a ticket. Oh, slippy.
That leaves 47, so yeah.
44.
Tied us up the best that he could.
Joe, you require
bit of a let-off there, really, for Joe Cullen. Well, the throw was under trouble.
Absolutely massive let-off, but Joe still has to step up to the plate here. And he stepped up and he's stepped back momentarily as well. Crowder just building this one up. He's inching closer.
No score. Raymond requires 32.
And in many ways, a let off for Barney as well, because he's been allowed another opportunity. And this time, he does not let it pass. And there we have the first chink of daylight in this one. Barney, with the break, leads 4-2.
7th flag, Raymond to throw first.
Sometimes how points go against you just changes how you feel. Joe Cullen won't feel like he's been beaten now. He'll feel like he's lost that. Feel like it was his, and the missed opportunities have let Barneveld now have a bit of a cushion.
Yeah, sometimes you accept that there's not really a great deal that you can do.
100.
Very much out of your hands. Your opponent just seems to be hitting everything, but yeah, that was definitely a case of the exact opposite.
93.
Seemed to throw a slower dart there, Joe, in that final dart, and it dipped.
138.
Barney gives himself a shot, playing his percentages.
91. Raymond require 170.
Joe Cullen likewise. The big fish is on the floor. Pick it up, because Barney might be in business here.
134. Joe, you require 170. 58. Raymond, you require 36.
Well,
Game shot the 7th flag.
Barney has produced another 13 darter,
Joe to throw first.
and that's all it takes, isn't it? 5 holes of throw, then he got the break, and he's backed up the break with another hold.
59.
And that's so often all that you need to do. Just that one break can just prove so decisive, and all of a sudden Cullen's looking at the prospect of winning 4 on the spin, and with Barney in this frame of mind, you have to say it's a tall order.
Start number 1, that's been so impressive for Barneveld. Just sat in the bottom of the treble, looking so inviting for more. And once again, bottom of the treble, just to build on top. And it's on again.
Well, hold your breath, Basel, because Barney,
95.
with a potential 9-dart leg,
41.
to book his place in round 2. They know what to do.
Well, they've been teased tonight, haven't they, the home crowd here in Basel. But the most important thing for Raymond Van Barneveld right now is he's looking good for a place in round 2.
Raymond, you require 36.
Well, this could be a 10-dart break of throw.
Game,
And there's no living with that. I don't care who you are. Raymond Van Barneveld with a devastating burst late on 4 legs without reply. And the 5-time world champion means business once again. Hasn't had a great deal